Donald Trump has gotten all kinds of special benefits and exemptions from the Supreme Court, but even he found that trying to rewrite the Constitution by himself was too much, and he was dealt that big loss this week, the court upholding citizenship the way it's always been, meaning he doesn't get to rewrite it or water down or change birthright citizenship. And that has some conservatives who, if they follow the law at all, could have seen this coming, but they're still upset.
The Supreme Court of the United States upheld birthright citizenship, and that is a legal abomination.
Chief Justice Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett siding with the liberal justices. Justice Alito was furious.
I think we're used to getting betrayed by Roberts, but I mean, Barrett, I'm sick of Barrett. I'm sick of this. Barrett.
Are we banning pregnant women from America? Are we banning foreign pregnant women?
You have to now think very carefully about who you let into your country, even on a temporary basis.
It's the legalization of an invasion of America.
This is all, at best, misinformed noise. At worst, they're lying to you. The Constitution says what it says. And conservatives have often held themselves out as the ideological view that you hew to that. They call it originalism or textualism. And we are a country that defines citizenship by being here. So if you're born here, you're an American citizen. You don't have to then do a loyalty test or prove your religion, race, or other things that in the old days and in some other countries they do. And people know that. Everybody knows that. But Trump has demanded this kind of performance. And maybe some people, as I said, ultimately started to believe it. I can't tell you what's in their minds. I can just tell you that they are wrong on the law, which is why a coalition on the Supreme Court that includes Republican justices landed by saying the court said the Constitution says what it says. Presidents don't get to just change it. That's why we have a Constitution. All of this fairly straightforward. Meanwhile, one Republican went all the way into the famed references of the Statue of Liberty.
We got to put a bed sheet, a big bed sheet, over the Statue of Liberty. 10 years. 10-year moratorium on immigration. She's going to go to sleep for a while. She got to go to sleep for a while because we're not letting anybody in anymore.
Well, some people think a bed sheet.
I'm not saying it's dead. What I'm trying to say is that instead of having a torch, maybe it needs a stop sign.
Yes, it's all metaphors, but putting the Statue of Liberty to sleep isn't something you usually hear from politicians in any party because, you know, it's a symbol of America and what we stand for on our best days. I will mention that the lawmaker is well within his policy arguments to say that there should be lower immigration or zero immigration. Now, a lot of American businesses oppose that because they want all kinds of skilled workers, technical workers, AI, smart people from around the world, and a lot of other folks have arguments for immigration you're probably familiar with. But yes, consistent with this ruling, the government could lower the amount of immigration they allow in any given year or the amount of visas or citizenship applications they accept. All this ruling is about is honoring the fact that our Constitution already says if you're born here, you're an American. You don't get born here and then have to prove it. The court ruling was on one matter relatively close. It was within a single vote of actually going the other direction. And that, again, remember, it says all persons born or naturalized in the U.S. and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the U.S. So the fact that there were 4 votes to go in a different direction, despite the plain English there, shows you, as I mentioned in our initial coverage, that apparently there are now 4 Trump-friendly votes who will say up is down or rewrite the Constitution at his request. And if they'll do that on immigration, they might do that when it comes to your voting rights or whether we have free and fair elections. As for it being a close call, here was the vice president.
I do actually think there's a really big silver lining here. The fact that this case was a 5-4 decision effectively means that the concept of birthright citizenship, which is an absurdity to the 14th Amendment, that concept is hanging by a thread. We actually have an opportunity to reverse this decision, just as we've reversed so many bad decisions throughout the generations.
That is the sitting vice president's take. They lost. They lost with Republican justices ruling against them. They lost with a Trump appointee ruling against them. But he says, hey, we could still find some way to reverse this. That's what you're up against if you are a believer in the Constitution and the Supreme Court's rule of law. Trump has long obsessed over crowd sizes. He's throwing this Independence Day fair, and they're having a little trouble with it on the National Mall. If you're going to show who's there, and you can see some of these photos, then you're going to see with your own eyes what's going on. And that kind of attendance posed some trouble even for the often Trump-friendly Fox News.
Happy early birthday, America. We're celebrating already at the Great American State Fair. Man, we've got thousands of people celebrating this birthday with us.
And it's because there's tons of people here. It's a huge space, and it's just going to get more and more crowded as the week goes on.
Sometimes the pictures really don't tell the full story, because if you look behind us, you see, okay, there are a couple hundred people back there, but the truth is, when you make your way over here and you're in a wash of people.
I mean, it's like, you know, we came all the way down here so we could have this shot behind us, and now we're going to tell you why what you see behind us, the empty field, isn't really what to focus on. Somewhere there's more people. That was a kind of distortion in real time, a matter that is small but goes to credibility. Insiders say Trump is livid at the obviously low turnout, which can't be masked. As for the media trying to basically avoid offending an audience of one, well, South Park mocked and maybe predicted this.
This is 60 Minutes. Oh, boy. Oh, God. The small town of South Park, Colorado is protesting against the president. The townspeople claim that the president, who is a great man.
A great man.
Great guy. We know he's probably watching. And we are just reporting on this town in Colorado that's being sued by the president, and they are fighting back.
And just to be clear, we don't agree with them.
No.
No, don't be mad at us, or we swear there's people back there somewhere. The jokes write themselves, but the punchline is evidently pretty serious, because we have to have facts if we're going to govern this country together, and we might need leaders who are concerned about more than just their personal popularity and crowd sizes.